In this video, we're going to be talking about the power of knowing your spirit animals, your totem animals. And so without further ado, let's get into it. Hi and welcome to Oaklaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that returning subscribers, thank you. Those of you that are new, thank you also to you. So, spirit animals, totem animals. I've done videos on this before, but it came back on to my spectrum again this morning. I was getting a nudge, and it feels very correct to talk about this again, talk about the power of knowing your spirit animal, the power of knowing your totem animals, and why that comes about. I know when I first got in touch with my spirit animal, and the spirit animal for me, everybody talks about it a little bit differently, so you have to use your intuition and your discernment, but the spirit animal for me is the guardian angel that you're born with. It's the animal and their characteristic traits that highlight a lot of what's going to happen in your life, a lot of what your character is going to be like. And some of the issues that are going to come up for you. And it's interesting because I always say when I found out very, very late in life, kind of mid-30s, I believe I was, when I found out what my spirit animal was, I was a little bit peeved. It can be the only description. I was very blessed, but I was also a little bit peeved that when I started researching into its meaning and the characteristics of my animal, thinking, ugh, if I'd only known that, I could have saved myself XYZ mental gymnastics in a very negative way. And yet, would my life have been different? Would I have made changes? And I suspect probably not. Would I have gained more peace from it? Again, probably not, because I am a Scorpion, so I'm a little bit fixed at times. And so I probably would have been very bloody minded about it and going, no, well, that's not going to happen to me. But it was. And just to give you some perspective as to what I'm talking about here, my spirit animal is the panther. Now, the panther mother always rears her children on her own. My life journey meant that I was a single mother. And whilst I had some wonderful love affairs, I brought my daughter up on my own. There was never anybody that was my right-hand side, not her father, not any of those wonderful love affairs. I was a single parent, and I carried that. I dealt with that. I worked through that. I struggled through that. If any of you are single parents, you know the struggles that exist there, both emotionally, physically, and financially. And within that, there were times where I lost myself because those struggles, that survival mode, was very real. So when I found out that my spirit animal was the panther, I was a little bit, and I'm chuntering away to myself. And then I started exploring that more. What if I'd had to share my daughter in those times? I mean, obviously she had contact with her father, but the majority of the caregiving and all of the decision making was mine and mine alone. What if I hadn't had the panther as my spirit animal? What if those energies hadn't been flowing through me? What if I had to share that responsibility? And quite honestly, I don't think I would have liked it. I don't think I would have been comfortable with it. And that's interesting now to reflect, because I always wanted that American dream, the mum, the dad, the 2.4 children. I always thought I was lacking because I didn't have that. But on reflection, it was the best possible thing that could have happened for me, for my character, for the work that the two of us achieved, the relationship that we built and the bonding that we had. And I'm not saying that we've not had our problems, because any mother and daughter, any father and son, any mixture of the dynamics, there's always going to be problems. You're two people trying to live together, be together. And it's particularly poignant when you have two characters that have very strong personalities, and so that needs negotiating. And I'm not sure if there was a third in the mix, would that negotiation have been so smooth running? And so to learn who your spirit animal is and to start working with them and allowing them to show you the yin and the yang of that existence is immensely powerful in learning and uncovering and owning your soul sovereign self, walking into that self-actualization, that deep understanding of your character and your traits and your values and your beliefs. And once you've kind of undertaken that, and that takes, you know, you can find your spirit animal, you can connect with that by doing a 20-minute shamanic meditation. That part's the easy part. The harder part and the continuational learning from having gained that knowledge is years long. I know it was, when was it? It was 2022, I believe, or 2023, when in meditation, my Puma trusted me enough to show me her cubs, and I wept. I absolutely wept, because she had been walking with me all my life. I had been aware of her by then for about 8-9 years. And it's only a few years ago that she trusted me. It's a reciprocal relationship that you build with your spirit animals, with your totem animals. It has to be reciprocal, and there has to be reverence and trust and security. It's not about forcing it and the glamour of it. It's about building up a relationship, because sometimes your spirit animal or your totem animals will be as scary as F. And you may think, whoa, I'm not so sure I want to go there. It's about learning to flow with their energy, be in resonance with their energy, And when we do have those fears belong to us. Those fears are negative energies, aspects, thoughts, beliefs that are within us that need to be released. And very often when that does occur, what we uncover within those moments are false beliefs that we've built about ourselves, which is why that fear is coming up when we are faced with our spirit animal or our totem animal. When I talk about the two, I consider my spirit animal being the one that I'm born with, the one that walks with me throughout life. Totem animals for me, I think of a totem pole, and I have learnt which animal represents which chakra, and I've built that pole. And so I have 12 other animals for my 12 physical body, spiritual body, who I am, that offer their energies. And when you're looking at what chakra they are there, so the base chakra is about security. So what animal is coming forward and how does that offer security? What are their characteristics? Your totem animal for the heart chakra, that expansion, that growth, that deeper understanding. What does that animal bring forward? What characteristics build and amplify that? But on the opposite side, what are their negative traits? And what of those negative traits are you holding in that space, in that chakra? There can be massive growth of learning and uncovering and releasing, reframing who you are by taking the time to get to know your spirit animals. The ones who want to walk with you, who choose to walk with you. And let's not negate, while we're going through this, we also have the ability, when a life circumstances is coming towards us, when we have a situation and we need extra energies like courage or belief, then we can call in specific animals and ask for their assistance, ask for a loan of their energies to help us, to guide us, to have us stand more fully in our authenticity. We're working with energies, remember. And what we're trying and working towards is anchoring our true soul, sovereign selves on this planet, showing up as our soul selves, not showing up as the mutated formation of what we've grown into and how we have been molded. Each and every one of us is born naked, is born pure. And it's only from the circumstances which we find ourselves in, the beliefs we are surrounded by, the energies we are surrounded by, the programming we receive, the data that we take in visually, energetically, emotionally, that changes and mutates that purity. And as we step onto the path of spirituality, the work that we're actually doing is returning to our true, naked, vulnerable purity of the soul self. Totem animals, spirit animals can play, if it resonates with you, a massive role in helping you to understand yourself and your journey in a much more powerful, fluid way. If you've liked the video, hit that like button. If you've not yet subscribed, then please subscribe. If you feel that somebody would benefit from listening to this video, then please by all means share it. Until next time, beautiful souls, blessings.